do you send with the schedule you have? I mean, you guys are probably going to be favored in all but one or two of your games. Is there something different, a different mindset you guys have to have going into those sorts of games? Or was that just an anomaly that happened last year?
I just feel like we should just take every game week by week. Our defense and our team, we go off our defense go off this quote. It's a win. It's on our lunch pail. And it means what's important now. So we need to know what's important now. We don't need to look ahead and to further, to better or whatever like that. We need to just take care of business that week.
I wouldn't know that. That'd probably be
just get down.
the coordinator's call.
Do what you gotta do.
More about that, obviously,
but treating the defense any different this year? Is he meaner, nicer after what happened last year? Do you feel there's a different intensity about him this year?
It is a different intensity because now everybody's experienced. Last year he had to be a little bit lenient, on some guys because they had some mistakes and then he didn't want to jump on them. Their heads won't be in the game. So I think this year everybody's experienced. So I know it's gonna be a lot more pressure. He's gonna be a lot harder on us. And I like that. So get everybody back in order, back ready to go.
What have you noticed about Anton Exum? Is he ready to step into that starting role at Rover?
He is ready. Just the way he's holding himself right now, taking himself and going to the film room and just looking at extra film on the Rover spot just to get ready. So when the bullets start flying, he'll be ready to go and know where to go and know what's going on. And I condone, like I said in the spring, I condone what he does. He's out there with me every day after 7-on-7 when we're doing ball drills. He's out there. We just want to make more plays, and we know it's going to start. We know Jay Ron's going to get his plays, and we know Kyle Fuller is a playmaker also. So basically, we're putting all the pressure on the safeties, me and him, and we're doing a lot of Theron and Norman also. We're putting a lot of work in, and getting back to that defense.
And Kyle will get a little bit of pressure on him too. But I'm sure offenses are going to try to stay away from Jay Ron's side there. Another young guy there, Kyle. Has he progressed and is he ready for that role too to be the starter there?
I feel like just whoever's the newest corner, whoever's the newest starting corner, they know that this is gonna be my year. I have to make my plays. When Macho was in Boundary and Verge came, he had a big season. And when Verge from the Boundary and Rock came, he had a big season. Last year, Rock was in the Boundary. Jay Ron came, he had a big season. So it's kind of like a pattern going on there. So I know Cal is he works beyond
already a lot
about
Jay Ron.
His work ethic is crazy.
He played some last year.
I feel like he's going to be ready.
7 months after, how pissed was Foster after Stanford?
Offensively,
I don't know who's more pissed, me or him. I don't know. A lot of guys, everybody was just upset.
It's like a veteran already. I'll say Logan.
We didn't want that senior class to go out like that. Tyrod, wins quarterback in the history of Virginia Tech, and for him to go out with a blowout, that wasn't. I still think about it. Every time I see him, I'm like, bro, I'm sorry for what I did or for what we did to send y'all out like that. He's like, look, just go out there and win the natty, win the natty. We got a couple ACCs. Let's go ahead and win the natty.
Playing in the ACC, obviously, have you seen the competition kind of close a little bit between teams as far as being more competitive?
Oh yeah, most definitely. When you see when we handle business, and we look at the scoreboards, and Wake Forest might be the team, or like NC State just came out of nowhere and got real good. Everybody's growing. I feel like everybody's just getting older and more experienced, and the quarterbacks are getting more experienced now. It's just the competition is getting back to where it needs to be.
When you see these teams obviously getting better and improving and whatnot, how much does that drive you guys to really put more work in for yourself, for your team?
When you're on top, you don't want nobody to get on.
I don't know.
We try to work as hard as we can, so we make sure that we feel like nobody's working harder than us. And if nobody working hard, we want to win. We can just go out there and do what we got to do. Keep winning games.
Eddie, the commissioner, John Twyford, spoke, and he says he's not necessarily for paying the players, but he does want them to look at maybe improving the scholarships to cover costs that might not be covered now. Is there a sense among players that there are costs that aren't being covered now? Like, guys struggling on top of
most definitely, guys are struggling, but like I said before, it depends on the school. So some schools, the apartments or by the school, they're financed by the school, so they don't have to worry about rent every month and this and that. Like I said, Virginia Tech, we don't have that many apartments as school homes, so we're out there in the real world, Terrace View or Sturbridge and Shawnee, so it gets kind of tough. You got to call mom and dad a couple times to get in there, get some money.
How do you feel like you played in that Orange Bowl game? I think there was one play where you got beat, caught out of position, but I mean that was one play. Overall, how do you feel like you played in that game?
Just from the communication standpoint, man, I feel like everybody we weren't clicking. We really weren't clicking at all. A lot of things happening, a lot of different formations they had with tight ends and this and that. We had so many different checks that guys thought this was a tight end, guys thought this was a tackle, and some guys were calling checks here, and some guys on the other side calling checks there. So it was. I feel like I played horrible, and just because our defense was so out of sync. And like I said before, at free safety and I make the calls, I feel like it's my defense. So after the game, me and Davon, we were like, I felt like we didn't, I don't know. We didn't. It's kind of hard to talk about.
You talked to him after the game, you were saying?
Yeah, we always talk after the game. We still talk now, but yeah, it was just so many checks. On their side of the ball, they were doing things, and on my side of the defense, we were doing things, and just some gap was open, and they were gushing. So
they confused you pretty good, though. It seems like.
Yeah, they confused us pretty good. And, we just communication. That was basically the biggest thing. Communication. Not taking away from Stanford, but man for man, I feel like we could have went man to man against them.
I think a lot of people feel like you guys were. They fooled you guys more mentally than a lot of people look at that talent and said like you guys matched up better.
Right.
You look at their kids, they weren't the kind of high profile recruits as some of you guys. That they won the chess game.
Basically, that's what they did. And, it's always in our mind, and we don't want that to happen again. So we'll come out this season and just do later.
And kind of as you look at how you've kind of gotten better, I know that was a sour note for you to end last year, and like you said, where do you need to, when you look at yourself and say, this is where I need to become better as a free safety? Taking all last year into account, and especially the last game because it was so big. What are those things that you feel like you need to?
Just get more comfortable making plays, balls in the air, and need to go and look at it like it's mine. Last year I was more, I would probably hit the receiver, try to knock it out, or do things like that. And Coach Gray got on me saying, look, I need you to, your tackling is good, and your leadership is good. I need you to make more plays. And it was some plays out there last season that I keep looking at and I could have made. And I'm just trying to improve my ball skills, be more natural with ball.
What about the organizing of the defense? Was the Stanford game an aberration, or did you feel like you had some other hiccups where you had some trouble with teams confused you a little bit?
It's kind of, we had a lot of new guys on the field. I'll be at nickel and I'm trying to tell Anton at free safety what he needs to do, and then look over there if J. Ron's hurt or he's in the boundary and Rock's hurt, I got to tell Kyle at corner what he needs to do and things like that. But this spring it went smooth. I mean, we didn't have any hiccups.
We played the base.
Base. And Anton knew what he was doing at Rover. Kyle knew he was doing that corner. So I just made a call and everybody knew what they were doing. It wasn't like I was talking to him one-on-one and I had to turn around, talked to him one-on-one, talked to the linebackers one-on-one. Everybody knew what they was doing, and it just felt way more. It felt smooth.
The title might have changed.
How is the 7-on-7s going? Because obviously, wide receiving core is pretty deep. You guys are pretty good yourself. I imagine that competition is pretty.
Very heated, very heated. And,
right.
After we're done, I feel like we get better every time we go out there. And we work with each other. They asked us what colors were y'all in right there, and I'm like, what should I do to get open if they were in cover 3, or what should I do to get open if they were in cover 2? And we'll give them tips. And we'll ask Logan, what were you looking at? Who was in cover 2? What were you looking at the safety of the corner, this and that, so we can jump more routes during the season and see what most quarterbacks look at. So we're working together, just trying to get better every day. I feel like that's what we're doing.
You mentioned Thrawn. Obviously, after you and Anton, not a lot of people have much experience in either free safety or rover. How's he come along? Because I know he was hurt during the spring, right?
He was hurt during the spring, but he had so many mental reps that he got. Every time he called me like every other day, telling me, "You get in the film, you get in the film." I'll be there at 6, man. Come out at 6. I'll be there at GD in it. So he's learning. You know, like when I was younger, I used to go over Cam House and watch film with him and pick up little tips that he did, and I'll look at Macho in the film and pick up tips that he did when I backed him up at corner. So that's what he's doing, and put you on the twister. And I tell him, like, look, this is my last semester, my last season. I'm ready in December, so it's your show. Like come January, whenever the bowl game's over, after that game, it's your show. So you should be ready to go.
But then you move when we were asking for 2004, and it's never really quite enough. So I don't really agree with
Logan's getting a lot of hype this preseason. A lot of people, praising his, I guess, physical abilities and saying he could have a big year. I mean, you've seen him up close the last 2 years in spring. I mean, did he impress you? I mean, what have you noticed out of him? What's he bring to the table for you guys?
A lot more poise. The pressure's coming. He's still staying in the pocket and getting the ball where it needs to go. I feel like he's got more confidence in his arm. Now, instead of trying to throw off the back leg, he knows that he can step in there and get the ball and put a zip on it if he has to, put a touch on it if he has to. And I've seen it, and I'm like, I don't know what people were saying, but this guy right here got a little confidence in him right now, and I like it. I like it a lot.